And I am live. In no way, Zachary. How you doing? You're in fast here. Welcome to Survivor Series, baby. PMDB predictions and a general chat in general. No way, Zachary says AJ Styles can't beat Brock. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? One thing I know. Well, I'll get on to my predictions, my official predictions. Once I Google the Survivor Series lineup, obviously I know the Brock Lesnar AJ Styles rematch will be taking place, non-title. I'm not even sure if I'll watch this event, but I thought I'd give my predictions on it. The Survivor Series. Usually I don't have a theme for a live stream, but I thought since the Survivor Series is coming up in the wrestling world, I thought I'd give my thoughts. Being a Survivor Series baby, yes, I was indeed born on the very first ever WWF Survivor Series, way back when it was Team Hulk versus Team Andre. I was born November 26, 1987. It was also Thanksgiving Day, so clearly I am a gift to all you lot. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? Aaron, how are you, buddy? Zachary has a good prediction. Good. How's things going with you, Zachary? How's everybody's YouTube channels coming along? I'm going to dive straight into my Survivor Series predictions soon. Perhaps have a wee chat about the Survivor Series and just a general chat in general. I'm doing not too bad, Zachary. Thank you for asking. This won't be. I don't think this will be a long live stream, as you know. I'm just wanting to dive into my predictions soon, and then just wrap it up, you know. And then perhaps after that, I'll go live again in a traditional PMDB live stream where there is no theme later on. I am doing all right, bro. Just in for a quick glimpse, then headed to bed. I'm at our family farm. YouTube's going great. My father's very sick. Stage 4 cancer. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, Aaron. Obviously, I don't know you too well, but I appreciate you popping in and wish there was something I could do. No, you don't need to thank me. I look forward to checking out more of your live streams. And more of your videos in general. Same goes for Zachary. All right, I have to Google. I'm so out of touch with the wrestling business today. I've got to Google WWE Survivor Series card. Should have hooked this up already, but top stories: 2 reasons why Raw should win the Survivor Series 2018 and 2 reasons why SD Live should win. Okie dokie. Let's see. Wikipedia. Survivor. This is the second annual Survivor Series. I was born on the 1st. I'll be 31 myself soon. But this is the 32nd. This will be the 32nd annual one. Survivor Series poster features Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, Seth Rollins, Nakamura, Becky Lynch, and AJ Styles. Takes place in California, November 18th. I may or may not watch it. I'm undecided. In my view, WWE has been brutal the last couple of years. Although the last couple of years, I did watch both the 2016, 2015. In fact, I haven't missed a Survivor Series show since 2012. But this year, that little run of watching the Survivor Series could indeed end, because I think WWE's been pretty poor lately. Alright, I've got the matches lined up. I'm a bit out of touch with the WWE, but sometimes, even with being so out of touch on today's WWE product, being very, very part-time follower, can you blame me? I'm quite good with prediction videos. I'm quite good. Right, I'll get back to the chat and then I'll start doing the predictions for the Survivor Series. Right. Okay. Zachary says, winner of Survivor Series, Raw, men's tag team, SmackDown women's tag team, Seth Rollins, AOP, Brock Lesnar, and Becky Lynch's. No way Zachary's predictions. Maybe me and No way Zachary will have similar predictions. We shall see. I'll go through match one by one. And F the pre-show. I'm not even giving a prediction for that. Who cares about the pre-show? Seriously. 4 hours of WWE content is more than enough. And also, I wish to just do away with the whole 3-hour Raw thing. It's too much. Too much. And Raw is a really bad television show in general, so less is definitely more in Raw's case. I'll chat with you again, bro. Keep the great work up. Have a great stream. Thank you very much, Aaron. Hope to see you around either in here or one of your streams soon. I'll definitely look out for you. Take care. It's supposed to be Roman Reigns versus AJ. Whole story, yeah. Get well soon, Roman Reigns. I think they have a Raw versus SmackDown Royal Rumble. I am not sure. I like the Royal Rumble. Although I thought this year's greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia was really, really bad booked match. Probably too much with 50. It was probably too much with 40, actually. But I thought it was a really bad Royal Rumble. But when the Royal Rumble is booked right, it's definitely the second best pay-per-view, if not sometimes the best pay-per-view of the year. You know, it can be a very fun match concept show. Zachary loves it. It's like the Survivor Series elimination matches. When booked right, and when given the proper promotion, when there's maybe something on the line, the Survivor Series elimination matches can be very fun. In fact, my second favorite wrestler of all time, Shawn Michaels, I think one of his very best performances came at the 2003 Survivor Series with Team Austin versus Team Bischoff. I thought Shawn Michaels' performance in the Survivor Series that year was exceptional. And JR's commentary during that show was exceptional too. My favorite pay-per-view is Money in the Bank and TLC, Zachary says. Right, I'll get started on the first match. I'm just going to go through the list on Wikipedia. Right, let's see how rusty I am. I might not even know whom some of the wrestlers are. Let's see, shall we? I have no idea. Is this a match number 8 listed here? I have generally not got Scooby-Doo who Buddy Murphy or Mustafa Ali are. Is for WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy. I generally do not know who either wrestler is. I'm going to go with Buddy Murphy. That's how out of touch I am. Right, back to the chat. I'll do the next matchup. So Buddy Murphy is my first pick in my predictions video. Oh, is he? Oh, I'm really jealous of him now. Alexa Bliss. Buddy Murphy is very, very lucky human being then. Alexa Bliss is absolutely stunning. He is from Australia. See, I'm learning things today. I was actually almost Googling him to see who he was, but gave me colored. Oh, me. So, actually, the first ever, I'll show you, actually. This, I've still got it. I stole it from a friend. It was his 4th birthday. And he was like, I was just 3 at the time, almost 4. He was like, you really have to check out this WWF. It's really good. It's much better than Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is 1991. And this event's actually from 1988, the 2nd annual Survivor Series. But this was my first introduction to pro wrestling, World Wrestling Federation. And you know what? This got me into wrestling. This show, this concept. The first match I watched was the huge tag team elimination match featuring Demolition, Heart Foundation, Dynamite Kid, British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, Shawn Michaels, Marginet, and such a the array of talent in the 1980s was just like unbelievable. But this, Survivor Series is the show that got me into wrestling, and I was a big fan for years and years and years. Attended WrestleMania in 2009, witnessed Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. But my interest in wrestling has started to decline. The John Cena era. I've never been a big John Cena fan, but I've always had a passion for wrestling. Zachary says that Buddy Murphy, that why he won OSC because he was Alexa Bliss's boyfriend. That's why he won the cruiserweight title, right? In the Super Showdown in Australia. So I've always had a passion for wrestling. I've always had a love for wrestling. I still enjoy watching a lot of wrestling shoot interviews, specifically Psycho Sid shoot interviews. And I've also had a soft spot for the Survivor Series. It was close to being cancelled in 2010. In 2010, when I first joined YouTube, there was a video. For the life of me, that the name of that video escapes me. But there was a video where I was pretty damn happy that the Survivor Series, they changed their mind about cancelling it in 2010, and it was re-added back to the yearly pay-per-views. I think it would have been a mistake cancelling it because it's got so much history, so much great matches, great memories. Bad memories for Bret Hart have taken place there, and I thought it would have been a mistake cancelling it because I feel like it's different from just one-on-one matches all the time. If you do a number of traditional elimination matches, it changes things up, makes things a little bit interesting compared to one-on-one matches all the time. It's nice to have a change and have a theme sometimes. Peyton Royce and Billy Kay is my favorite dual tag team. I see. I have no idea who they are. Are they from NXT? Or are they in the main roster now? I'm really showing myself up how out of touch I am with today's WWE product. I just personally find it really unwatchable. I've got to be honest with folk. I cannot lie. I'm not good at lying. Maybe my standards are too high because I grew up during 2 of the last legit boom periods of wrestling. One that featured Hulk Hogan on top, and the other that featured 2 household names on top. One of them's on my shelf, Stone Cold Steve Austin. The other one's the biggest deal in Hollywood right now, The Rock. And then wrestling's pretty much been out of the mainstream since the Attitude Era. However, that doesn't mean to say that there hasn't been some great moments since then. There has been, even though the reigns have dipped and then dipped again. But there has been some good moments since WrestleMania 17, the end of the Attitude Era. Anyways, I'm rambling on here. Let's go on to the next match. 7th on this list is also a to be announced match. I'm assuming the One thing I'll criticize about WWE this year, they focused far too much on WWE Crown Jewel. They haven't built up the Survivor Series again this year. Seems like it's more like an afterthought and a B show this year again. So there's going to be a Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. The Team SmackDown guys announced are the Uso twins. The New Day. Well, it'd be nice to know who was on Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Team SmackDown. I feel like I'm drawn to Team SmackDown winning this 5-on-5 tag team elimination match. I'm drawn to Team SmackDown winning. Right, back to the chat. So obviously I watched more WWE, WWF during the 90s, during the 2000s, or more the early 2000s. And like I say, my interest in wrestling started to dip more and more. The more and more John Cena was pushed, the more and more my interest dipped. And it was guys like Brock Lesnar coming back that, piqued my interest again. I love Brock Lesnar. I think he's one of the best of all time, underrated actually, in my blunt opinion. I was quite happy if someone had to end the Undertaker's winning streak. It should have been someone like Brock. In fact, it should have been no one else but Brock Lesnar. I was happy it was Brock Lesnar. I would have wanted the streak to go on, but if it had to happen, WrestleMania 30, Brock Lesnar, perfect place, perfect. It wasn't a great match by any means, but if somebody had to end the streak, in my opinion, that person was Brock Lesnar. He's the most legit badass in wrestling, probably after Haku of all time. So when he started coming back in 2012, my interest in keeping up with the WWE grew again after the dire John Cena run, which drew me away from WWE, almost killed my passion for wrestling. I didn't understand the whole John Cena thing. Perhaps I was a little bit too old by then. The guys like Brock Lesnar coming back and the Undertaker's streak storyline was always, a reason to watch WrestleMania to see if the Undertaker would finally lose and who would be in a tombstone this year. Zachary says he hopes Raw win, Uso win. I hate the New Day. No, I'm not really a big fan of the New Day. I don't get the whole New Day. Just like with John Cena, I don't get the whole New Day thing either. They seem to be pretty good in-ring workers, but I'm not really a fan of their gimmick. Not my cup of tea. Definitely not my cup of tea. And Zachary hates them. On to the next match. It's a bit of a rumble here. So AOP, the Raw Tag Team Champions, versus the Bar, Cesaro. And I really enjoyed the team of the Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. And I've never been a big fan of Sheamus, but together I think Cesaro and Sheamus have really became a great tag team. It's a champion versus champion matchup. AOP. I think AOP, no idea who they are. I think AOP, I'm drawn to them. They seem to be the new and upcoming tag team, so I'm going to go with them. Cesaro and Sheamus have had their time, if you will. And this will probably be like a passing of the torch type match. All right. Let's do another matchup, shall we? And then we'll have another discussion about the Survivor Series and its history. It's Women's Team Raw, which lists Alexa Bliss being on Team Raw. I thought she was injured. Versus Team SmackDown. Carmella, Naomi, Sonya, Deville, Asuka, and to be announced. 5-on-5 elimination matchup. Um, my heart would go with Team Raw because I love Alexa Bliss. Um, Asuka dominated the Women's Survivor Series elimination match last year. Will she dominate again? I've got to go with Team Raw. Team Raw women will win this Survivor Series match, in my opinion. I'm also drawn towards Alexa Bliss because she is blissful. Oh, I can't blame you, Zachary. I like Kofi Kingston in back in the day. I liked his theme. I liked his original theme song back in the day. It was catchy. Well, you are a SmackDown family, so you're torn between Alexa Bliss, loving Alexa Bliss, but you love the SmackDown brand bearer. So, I'm glad they, kept doing Survivor Series. It's the second longest pay-per-view now, other than WrestleMania. It's one of the big four. Apparently, it's got the whole weekend thing with NXT Takeover and lots of good stuff going on. Apparently, even for this year in particular, it feels like an afterthought. Following Crown Jewel. Um, The Undertaker debuting it, Kurt Angle, The Rock, some really big stars, some of the best wrestlers ever debuted at this show. And the whole Montreal Screwjob that everybody's talked about to death for 21 years. So let's not mention any more about the Montreal Screwjob because it's been said and done. And I think everybody's bored of it now. So yeah, for the reasons like that, the history, the fact I was born in it, of course, I want a show that I was born on to continue on and on forever and ever and ever. And there's been some great matches, particularly when booked right. Some of the elimination matches have been really, really good. I mentioned Shawn Michaels, his performance in the 2003 elimination match, Team Austin versus Team Bischoff, being outstanding, his performance. And also, another one that springs to mind is The Alliance, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Rob Van Dam, Kurt Angle, Booker T, and Shane McMahon, the greatest wrestler of all time, of course, versus Team WWF. It was The Rock, The Undertaker, Kane, Chris Jericho, and who else was in it? The Big Show. I always forget about The Big Show for some reason. He hasn't been very memorable, The Big Show. But anyway, that 5-on-5 match, all that talent involved, that was one of the best matches in general on pay-per-view. Austin Rock, final two of the biggest stars ever, not just in the Attitude Era, but just of all time. It's Hogan, Austin, Rock, in my opinion. Pick one. Who's your biggest star? They drew in the most fans. They made the most money. The Egyptian Gamer Geek is here. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you popping in. How you doing, Egyptian Gamer Geek? We've got a bit of a theme going here. I'm giving my predictions for the up-and-coming Survivor Series show. A show I probably won't even watch, but I'm going to give predictions anyway. Even though I have a soft spot for the Survivor Series, I just don't think WWE is good enough to purchase right now, in my opinion. The Egyptian Gamer Geek is good. Right, let's get on with my prediction for the next couple of matches. Just dropping to say hello and support. Take care. I appreciate that, and I'll look out for new uploads from you, Egyptian Gamer Geek. Take care. Zachary says hello. Right, let's get on with this matches. All right, we've got Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. It's another 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match. Team Raw so far includes Dolph Ziggler. How is he still employed? Drew McIntyre, who I've heard many good things about, but I'm not quite convinced by Drew McIntyre yet. Braun Strowman, a crowd favorite, and to be announced with Baron Corbin. They're taking on Team SmackDown, which consists of The Miz, Daniel Bryan, the greatest wrestler of all time ever. None of our opinions matter. Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, and Samoa Joe. That's a very strong lineup. I'm going to go with Team Raw because I've heard things about a Shane McMahon heel turn on the card. So I think it probably will take place here. There'll be fallings out between Daniel Bryan and The Miz. I think Team Raw are going to win this one. Next, I'm going to leave Brock Lesnar match to last. So I'm going to predict Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion, versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the United States Champion. Title. I was going to say title for title matchup. No, it's not title for title matchup. Champion versus champion matchup, non-title. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, I think, will win this matchup. I don't think WWE's done a great job with booking Shinsuke Nakamura. Is he still heel? I'm not too sure, but I think Seth Rollins will probably win this matchup. I'm going to leave the Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar matches till last. I'll get onto them in a moment. Just check the chat and have another general discussion. Zachary agrees with me about Seth Rollins. I don't understand why they can't pick the Big Show, Team Raw, because Braun Strowman. Welcome. I appreciate that. Welcoming people in here. Everybody welcome in here. Whether you're a wrestling fan or not, doesn't matter your political spectrum, all welcome here. As long as you don't do drama, not troll, it's all good. Seth Rollins. He seems to be pretty popular with the fans that still watch WWE. Seth Rollins still seems to be very popular with them. But Shinsuke had kind of a little dirty wrestler like Rick Flair. Yes. In fact, here's a little throwaway fact for you. Ric Flair was a sole survivor in his debut Survivor Series in a traditional Survivor Series match at the 1991 Survivor Series that featured what should have been the main event, The Undertaker versus Hulk Hogan. But for some reason, that wasn't the main event. The main event that year was a traditional Survivor Series match featuring the Legion of Doom. I don't know why Hulk Hogan versus The Undertaker didn't end the show that night. I'm flabbergasted by that because Hulk Hogan was still in his peak. Undertaker was rising some more and more for some reason. It was on the poster. It was the most advertised match in 1991, but it wasn't. It was in the middle of the card. God knows. Right, Ronda Rousey. I have a crush on Ronda Rousey too. She will be taking on Becky Lynch. Ronda Rousey will win this match via submission. As much as I love Becky Lynch, the WWE machine is, and I like Ronda Rousey. I really enjoy Ronda Rousey from what I've seen. And she's beautiful. Not that has anything to do with my opinion. She's the Raw Women's Champion, but the machine is behind Ronda Rousey. She is not going to lose this match. I'll be very shocked if Becky Lynch wins this match. Imagine if Becky Lynch won this match and tapped out Ronda Rousey. Wouldn't that be funny? But I promise you, they're wanting a women's main event at WrestleMania 35 next year, probably between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. And I cannot see Ronda Rousey losing at the Survivor Series. So my final predictions for this show is Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. Brock Lesnar will defeat AJ Styles. And then, according to Dave the Mark Meltzer, Brock Lesnar's next date to attend the WWE is WrestleMania 35, where he will probably drop the title to a Braun Strowman or whoever is deemed the man by WWE at that time. So I can't see Brock Lesnar getting beat by AJ Styles here. In fact, I've got a feeling there's going to be some sort of non-finish here. But I don't like predicting non-finishes, so I'm going to go with my boy Brock Lesnar walking out victory here at the 32nd annual Survivor Series. Will I order it or not? I'll think about it. I'll consider ordering this event. I'm not completely sold yet. You know, last year's Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles was a fantastic match. I enjoyed Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg from the year before that, the shock element. Always been a fan of Goldberg. When booked right, Goldberg is a machine, Goldberg is a monster. And it was a great, shocking moment no one really seen coming when he defeated Brock Lesnar. And the year before that, I ordered that event. It wasn't a particularly memorable show. It was The Undertaker's 25th anniversary. It was built around him. Brock Lesnar was even on that show. And the year before that was Sting. Sting debuted. And that was a pretty solid traditional Survivor Series match. Team Cena versus the Authority. That was a pretty good match. Dolph Ziggler, whom I'm not the biggest fan of, he was very, very good in that performance. I'll give credit where credit is due. And then the year before that was probably one of the worst pay-per-views of all time, Survivor Series 2013. I ordered that show, but it was so bad that I didn't even watch it all. It was that bad I didn't even watch it all, despite ordering it. So yeah, that's my predictions for this year's Survivor Series. A show I probably won't even watch. We shall see. Maybe if I have a few vodkas and iron brews, I might get, mentally prepared to sit down and watch a WWE television show pay-per-view. I mean, I have watched Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. I always watch WrestleMania and usually the Rumble too. And I've watched SummerSlam this year, not by choice, though. My younger cousin is into wrestling, and he was over and wanted to watch SummerSlam. So I endured SummerSlam. Most of the time, I had my laptop up and I wasn't really paying attention to it. But I watched some bits here and there. And I watched the Greatest Royal Rumble. I was intrigued by this Saudi Arabia show and the 50 Royal Rumble match. I was kind of tempted to watch Crown Jewel, but I thought, nah. Even though I was happy to see, I'm one of the fans that's happy to see Hulk Hogan back, real American and all. I'm sorry, folks, if we can forgive Stone Cold Steve Austin for doing worse, in my opinion, and I love Steve Austin, he's my favorite of all time. If we can forgive Austin, and we've forgiven many other wrestlers in the past for doing bad deeds, we've forgiven them, we've moved on. Why can't we forgive Hulk Hogan? He hasn't. What he said was appalling, but a lot of people have done a lot worse than Hogan, and we've forgiven him. So I think we should, if we're able to forgive those people, we should be able to forgive Hulk Hogan. And let's face it, without Hulk Hogan, we wouldn't be talking about wrestling today. End of. He put wrestling on the map. It's the biggest star, probably the biggest wrestling star ever in wrestling. Rock's probably a bigger star in Hollywood and celebrity now, but Hulk Hogan back then was so super popular. Everybody knew who he was. In fact, I think you have to grow up during the early 90s and the mid to late 80s to really understand how big a name Hulk Hogan was. Everybody knew who he was. My great auntie even knew who Hulk Hogan was, and she didn't pay attention to wrestling at all. Right. Let's see. I'm back in the chat. Appreciate the like. Becky Disarmed. I think, be honest, is my prediction. I think WWE Women's Championship Raw versus SmackDown is finally match. My friend Dolph Ziggler, 6 to 7 times this year. That is her favorite superstar. Oh, your friend met. Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, a wrestler in person. How was he? I've heard mixed reactions about people meeting wrestlers in the past. Some say, some wrestlers aren't very nice, and others say that they've met. I had one person in here. Her name's Dottie. She sometimes comes into this live stream. She said she met Macho Man Randy Savage and the Olympic Warrior one time, and said both were great people. Right. That's all my predictions for this year's Survivor Series. Will I watch it? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I've got to be honest, Zachary, no, I do not find today's WWE product watchable. And I think you said you're going to be watching it. Are you going to be talking about it on your YouTube, Zachary? Are you going to be making a predictions video? Are you going to be reviewing the show? If I watch the show, I'll probably have my opinion on the show the next day if I watch it. I love Brock Lesnar. AJ Styles, fantastic in-ring performer. I enjoy the concept of the Survivor Series matches, but I'm not sure if I can put myself through another WWE show right now. We shall see. We shall see. It's Sunday. It's finally a race and WWE pay-per-view. Right, I'm going to wrap up this stream, Zachary. I appreciate you joining me once again. Always welcome here. We've got Wrestling Bond. I may probably will be back later on for another live stream of a non-theme this time because wrestling's not everybody's cup of tea. But I thought I'd get my predictions of this year's Survivor Series out there and talk a little about the show and my history with the show. All right. Take care, Zachary, and speak soon. Hope people enjoy this little wrestling-themed stream. And if you do enjoy and watch the Survivor Series, hope it's a good show. And